welcome to the one person that's watching. Sort of popping here live because I've reached the, as of this time of this recording, reached the 300 subscriber mark. So I thought I'd pop on, and I was going to make a video, but I thought, oh no, I'll just go a quick live. So I don't know if many people will come on, but yeah. So that's been running the loco and stuff. I haven't been running that in a long time, so it's only a wee play. Mucking around with that. Hi Lee, how are you? Please you could pop in. Yeah, so I've got, as people would have seen that the gravel supply and all that sort of stuff, that's all sitting up there. Of its little hi Mystic, how are you? Just a little live, like I was saying. I've reached that 300 subscriber mark, which might not be a big achievement to other people, but to me it's quite a big achievement. So thought I'd pop on here. I was going to make a video, but I'll come on here and do a live. So I've got just mucking around with the loco and bits and pieces, so you can sort of see the all the bits and pieces for the ag supply. I haven't got that up at the moment, so put that over there. Hi Barman, how are you? Please you could pop in. Yeah, like I was saying, it's just a general catch up of what's been happening, bits and pieces. So yeah, like I was saying, with that aggregate supply, that's probably the most, well, it would be the biggest viewed video I've ever put out for some you know, unknown reason, whether people like what the the format or what it looks like. I'm not too sure, but I'm quite pleased with that. And saying that, these little bits, these are the little bits that I was my little concrete interlocking blocks, and these little spigots, they just fit into the holes in the baseboard, so it all comes all apart, and we all just put in and things like that. Because the bit where the extension bit where it's the ag supply sits on is over the doorway into the room, so I sort of got to be able to move it and put it away, and still make it easy to put it together. Put it back up and take it down. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, no, it's still got to be weathered and things like that, so but you sort of get the idea. So yeah, I'm quite proud of it actually. Learned a few skills. Bits and pieces, that's what it's all about really, isn't it? Apart from that, the rest of the layout is still the same. Not much else happening really. Like I said, I haven't operated in a long time. Hi Tom, how are you? So it's but yeah, with the 300 subscriber mark, it's quite a bit of achievement, I reckon. So that's why I came on. But people wanted to see more trains operating, so I haven't cleaned the track or anything like that, so it's purely just chuck a couple of loco and a couple of wagons on and away I go. So it's going down to Lorna Foods now, or the Short Street Yard. So there it is there. Quite cool. It runs quite well actually. Runs very well. That's one thing I wanted, was reliability. That's the bins, Lee, they're not weathered at the moment. It's all like pre-shaded like that. So I go over all the lines and stuff with a darker colour, then I come back and lightly put the top coat over it, give it shadows and bits and pieces. I will come back and weather it with oils or acrylics or something like that, but I just really wanted to get it done because it was starting to, well, not frustrate me, but it was starting to drag on, and it did take a bit to get it done, especially the bins and stuff, the scratch built bins, which I'll grab in a second here. Just stop that. These little bins here, so they're all scratch built, once again with a little spigot at the bottom, so it fits in the base. So, and then the hay coil, and then the bearing housings all scratch built. So yeah, you sort of see it's all shaded on the inside and things like that. That's how I like painting it. Gives, like, you can see like little. The trick is, like, if you miss the top colour, which in the case is Tamiya Sky, then the black shows through. Armour modelers have been doing it for years and things like that, so it works out fine. And you don't have to be like the world's best painter to do it either. It's just random. So yeah, so it's pretty early here in the morning. So, but I thought I'd come and have a look and see who's on, and yeah, do my live and say thank you and all that sort of stuff. So that's quite good. So what has everybody else been up to? Yeah, I've got those powders, Lee, the Humbrol weathering powders, and all that sort of stuff. So it's I sort of with like oils or stuff like that. So weathering powders, I could probably do that. Airbrush I just use for the initial painting, the initial shading and the painting. Then I'll come back with oils and bits and pieces, because I think you can achieve more with like an airbrush in the initial stages, and then you come back by hand and do your oils and stuff. That's just my opinion. It's worked for me so far, so I'm not going to change it or anything like that. Yeah, painting the track. Yep, I've done that. I think I'd put a video out on doing that. It's always a good fun project. And cleaning the tracks, yeah. I use just the Pico track rubbers to clean my track. And people say I don't use those, or they are the best thing. I mean, for my little layout, they're perfectly fine, and it takes me about 5 minutes to clean it properly. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of stuff in the contacts of the points and stuff, but I just get in there with some little IPA and just give them a clean out. And like I said at the start, it's very reliable. It had to be reliable, otherwise it just takes the fun out of it if you're always chasing and trying to clean stuff up and bits and pieces like that. It just wouldn't be very fun. But yeah, as far as operating the layout, I don't really operate it that much. I like building the structures and all the scenery and stuff. I never thought I'd say I like doing scenery, but yeah, it's running it. It's like I still enjoy running it. Don't get me wrong. I love doing operations and stuff, but it's just like you sort of got to sit down and have the whole thing set up over the doorway and things to have a full blown operations. Even though I've made it that you can do it other ways, but yeah, no, I'm pretty proud of it. Still a long way to go yet. Still got a long way. Yeah. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you, I reckon. It's like everything with model railroading. Whatever works for you might not work for the next person, but that's the beauty of it. I did get this. Well, I don't know if you can. Got any German people, but anyway, it's the little yeah, airbrushing's good fun, Lee. Yep. It's just the little watch out for that in the further future video. You'll see what all that's in there. You'll see secret. Yeah, airbrushing's quite good, Lee. I've got the two airbrushes. I've got the big one downstairs, or what I call the big one with the big compressor. The it's 1 horsepower compressor. I didn't go for the little tiny compressor that charges every 5 seconds. You know, exaggeration, doesn't charge every 5 seconds, but you know. And I've got the little one as well, the little handheld one, which is good for being up here. If I needed to do like track and stuff, I'm not lugging the big press all the way up here just to do track. So everybody would have seen all these a million times before. So it's quite good. I only use Tamiya acrylics through my airbrushes, both of them. Thin with IPA. I don't use anything else through them, and I have no problems whatsoever. Yeah, it's all Tamiya, or when I'm doing my washes, my wet on wet washes, it's Vallejo. I find that it works for me, and yeah. So I have just been recently just cleaning up my work area, so it's made it a lot more easier to work on, putting away my what's it called, my glues and stuff. So it's made it quite user friendly. But yeah, what this is a little office containers for the gravel supply. I was going to scratch board them, but I thought, oh no, I'll just get a kit and just do it like that. So that's basically what that is all about. The windows back in there. Comes with some window shades and all that sort of stuff. I possibly won't be using that. I'll probably make my own interior. And they're not stickers as such, they're just printed on thin card. So you've got some pretty well known names in there, Zublin and whatnot. So that's what that is. That's the next building project, but apart from that, there's not much else like structure wise to go in the layout anymore. Is this essentially just enjoying it? What else has been happening? I've got a few more wagons, things like that, but it's not too much there. So things to work on the layout. I've still got the steel supply to put the ropes to the cranes. Oh, outlaw paints. Oh, I've seen another YouTuber, review those. So I've never used them, but yeah, I'm sort of sticking with my Tamiya and Vallejo because it works for me. I'm not saying that the other brands aren't good or anything like that. It just what works for me. Possibly if I ever use outlaw paints, they might work for me as well. But I haven't. I've got enough paints to see me out for this layout anyway. As for the future of this layout, it's not going anywhere. So I don't have any plans whatsoever to make another layout or anything like that. I'm quite happy with this one. The beauty of it, if I ever have to shift or downsize the house or anything like that, it's all modular. I can just adapt it and things like that. So yeah, I haven't got anything fancy like that, Lee. I haven't got the extractor fan. I've got like a little USB fan that blows away all the stuff, bits and pieces. But I do mine in the garage, and my garage is about 48 square meters. So, and I always wear a mask and things like that. So I don't. And up here, I have the windows open and fans going and things like that. So because I got I got a little cat and stuff like that, and I always, you know, prioritise health and that sort of stuff over my model. So that's that. But yeah, getting back to the the modular design layout, it makes it easy to move around. If I ever had to take it to a show, this whole thing could be taken to a show pretty simply. I'm not going to take it to a show. It's purely because it's my little thing I like sharing with people. If I did take it to the show, I'd just get, because there's just so much of it, so many little areas, you'd just be, you know, constantly answering questions and things like that, and it's probably that's what the show's all about. But it's just like, you know, I'd sooner just sit here and operate it here. But never say never, I suppose. But yeah, so there's not really that much else. When it comes to being, you know, asked what locos I've got, I've only got 3 locos. I've got one in storage. Athearn, 2 Athearn Genesis, which this one is, and a Atlas, and the GP38s or GP40s, whatever ones they are. Look, I'm not up on with the names and stuff, so, but they work fine for this little layout. Work really good. So, but yeah, whereas it comes to the lighting and stuff like that, I've got lights underneath the valance there. You would see that it looks blue on the screen. It's not really that blue. See, it's not that bad. I could possibly knock down the brightness, but yeah. My wife comes in and she says it looks silly, but I don't think it does. But anyway, just a short little video. Like I said, thank you to everyone for each and every one of the 300 subscribers. As of this date I'm recording this, I have 300 subscribers, so if it goes down to 295, I've covered myself for doing this and that. Yeah, so my goal was to get 300 before Christmas, so I've got that now, so we'll just onwards and upwards. Yeah, I think it looks cool too. Looks good. It shows all the details and bits and pieces. There's another, while I'm here, there's another YouTube channel that I suggest you guys go have a look if you get a chance. It's called the Central Otago Railway. That's my brother Scott's layout based on New Zealand prototype. Go have a look at his layout. Even if you're not into New Zealand models or anything like that, his scenery is probably some of the better scenery I've ever seen. I'm not just saying that because he's my brother. It's quite good. I ask him questions about how I do bits and pieces on this. So yeah, so keep an eye out for the April update. I'm going to have to work out what I'm going to do for that. Like I said, there's still a lot of work to do on the layout. I haven't weathered any of the rolling stock or anything like that, or bits and pieces. So, like I said, I've got my last little structure kit to build, and just some bits and pieces to next area, possibly down in the end there. Yeah, here's an S scale. Yep, 1/64. I'm not quite happy with that little building down there. Not the big lawn of foods, but the little building beside it with the green door. I'll have to work around that. Yeah, so go check his layout out. He was in American N scale for a start, so he's got plenty of videos on that. But he's moved to NZR 164th, which is New Zealand Railways 164th. So go have a look at that. He's got some good ideas, good electrical ideas and things like that, which I don't have any of. So, yeah, but thanks everybody. Everybody. Like I said, rambling now, but thanks for the 300 subscribers, and I'll catch everybody on the next live stream. Keep an eye out for the videos. Make sure you, if you haven't already, go put an invitation to join the Willowcreek Industrial Spur on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. Just look Willowcreek Industrial Spur on Instagram. And I tend to post more stuff on that than do this. So thanks everyone. Thanks everybody that thanks Mystic, and thanks everyone for popping in. It means a lot to me. So I'll catch you on the next one. See you for now.